Hey guys, hope you guys still doing okay. So today we're going to try and bust a few myths from the internet, and we're going to say, is bit bashing registers on a microcontroller faster activating pins? Can we activate them all together with one command, and is that faster than using the standard Arduino digitalWrite to activate several pins in a row? Well, let's take a look. We're going to use the oscilloscope, so we get right into the nanoseconds of which one's the fastest. And I think you're going to be surprised. I think there's many old coders out there that are going to be thinking, okay, might be time to change. Hey, it's Kev from the future here. I just want to say, I put a new test on the end, a test 5, and it's just blown my mind. So if you really haven't got time to watch all the bloody video, I'd like you to watch it all. But if you really haven't got time, skip to the end, maybe about 2 minutes from the end or something like that. And that test just blows my mind. Might alter the way you program forever. Okay, just so we know what's on the bench, we've got a teensy version 3.2 here. It's got 3 LEDs connected to it. Nothing complicated. Got the oscilloscope attached to one probe on each one of these LEDs, so we can see when it actually powers up. And we've got this yellow probe here, which is just forming like a clock signal. It's not a clock signal. It's just gonna pulse 10 times, just so I know when the test started. So I know that the first flash is the the bit bashing of the registers. The second flash is just the standard digital write that we all use in Arduino, and the third flash is the one that's supposed to do it faster than the standard digital write. So let's have a look at the oscilloscope and let's get into this and take a few measurements. Okay, before we start, let's just make sure we flash the latest version of the program. And I don't know if you're used to flashing ESP32s and they take forever. Just watch how quick this teensy 3.2, version 3.2 goes. Are you ready? Press the start. Loading. Done. That's amazing. Okay, so let's make sure we get another fresh result on our oscilloscope. So we've definitely got the right program. And while that's doing that, we'll start talking through the test. So first of all, we're going to look at test 1. So we're going to set up a few pins. This is the oscilloscope pin. This is that I mentioned before, where we're just going to flash the oscilloscope pin on and off, 100 microsecond delay in between. Notice we're digital reading and performing a NOT function, which essentially means a true is a false and then a false is a true. It keeps doing that, or a high and a low in this case. I'm going to have a quick delay just so I can tell that the test started, and then we're going to set up the D port. So we're going to set it up as an output, a 1 output. I'm going to set all the outputs low, and this is the bit why it should be quicker, because I set in 8 outputs low. Okay, bad programming, guys. I'm really honest for this, because I've only got 3 LEDs on my circuit. But what I wanted to do here is just do a quick thing, and you're going to see why I don't want to spend any more time doing that. Then what we do is we put the oscilloscope pin high, then we set the 3 LEDs high, and then we take down the oscilloscope pin. We delay for 100 milliseconds, and then we do the same again, but we reset the LEDs so they go back off. So that's the first test. Okay, so let's just have a look at the first test on the oscilloscope. So this here, we're going to open this up in a minute. This is the pulsing of 10 to say this test has started. Test 1, 2, 3, and 4. I did add an extra test because I just wanted to see what happens if you alter the code. Be really sort of bad coding, and you'll see that in a moment. But let's concentrate on test 1 first. If we open that up a bit, you'll see the clock pulsing thing just to indicate that the test started. So this is definitely the bit bashing version. So let's scroll across, get it in the middle, and scroll as far in as we can. There you go. We've gone right into the middle. This is where it starts, in the middle of the screen here now. Let's put the cursors on and bring them across. So you can see a nice yellow line going down the screen. And that, I think, that's about as, and even the tolerance in the oscilloscope. So that's about as on perfectly as you can. All 3 LEDs come on at exactly the same time. and that's with that bit bashing where you can send the command and say all these three on at the same time. So theoretically, that's the fastest way you can do it, and that's why I've seen this done quite a lot, especially with the teensy programming. But is the standard digitalWrite slower? So let's have a look at the digitalWrite code. The second test is literally just doing a for next loop using the Arduino digitalWrite. Now, you'd probably expect this to be slower because it's having to go with a for next loop. So whereas this one writes the 3 pins in one statement, this one here does a for next loop and it goes, from pin 1. I've got 8 there instead of 3. So let me just alter that to 3. Not that it really matters. I'll leave it at 8 because thinking about it, we're doing the 8 here. So let's keep it in comparison. So we write all the 8 pins high. And then we put the oscilloscope, we do exactly the same thing. The only difference is this time is we're doing a for next loop and doing the pins one at a time. So theoretically you might think that was slow. Okay, let's move along to test 2. So I get test 2 in the middle, which of course is this pulse here. I'm going to zoom in like this all the way we can, keeping it in the middle if we can. There you go, and that's that. Let's bring them cursors across again, and I think we can safely say that that's about in the middle too, isn't it? So the for next loop is as quick as the register bit bashing. That's very interesting. Okay, so no point trying to work out all that bit bashing when we can simply just use the standard digitalWrite function. I mean, these here, guys, I mean, you've got to work out which pins are which bit on each of the ports. If we look at this schematic here, which is for the Teensy 3.2 schematic, I've got a good sourced Teensy 3.2, so I don't think this is any sort of Chinese clone. It came from a good place. I don't know why my Teensy doesn't add up to these ports, unless it's just been depreciated, this sort of functionality. But I don't get it, because that means all the programs are compiling correctly. So I'm not quite getting that, if I'm really honest. But what I can say is that represents pin 1. Sorry, I think that's 2 actually, 3 and 4. Anyway, either way, if you look at some old statements like this one here, I mean, on port D you've got pins 2, A0, 7, 8, 6, A6, A7 and 5. So that would be the bit order. I mean, that's clearly not what I've got, but that's how complicated it is. You've got to work out which one of those bits is the right bit for your pin. So that for me is just nonsense when this works just as fast. So what if we move on to test 3 and just look at the digitalWriteFast? So this is the teensy fastest write. Well, I guess you can't really get any faster, but just for consistency, we have to just demonstrate it, and that is just the exact same code as test 2, apart from we just replaced digitalWrite with digitalWriteFast. Let's have a really quick look at that on the oscilloscope. Okay, so let's get the third test, which is obviously this one, so we need that one in the middle. So let's move that across like this. Zoom in quickly as we can. Well, not so quick, it turns out. Okay, so let's get them cursors over here, and I think we can safely say just as quick, exactly the same, nothing here to see. So digitalWriteFast, exactly the same result here, guys. So nothing to see at this point. Let's go on to test 4. Again, just for consistency, we've got to do test 4. Test 4 is just literally, let's just one at a time, just in case the 4 next loops kind of speeding things up a little bit. Let's just do it really poor coding and just go one after the other. Let's try that. So back out we go. Oh, that's a bit too much. So we want test 4, which is this one. That's the test running again, and we can tell why that little white blip there, which is the pulsing 10 times. Let's scroll across. Test 4. Zoom in. Zoom in more. And I think we can probably safely say, let's actually activate that cursor, it'd be quicker. It's about the same. You could argue that there's a slight change here, look, because this one's only just started, and that one started a while ago. That one started a while ago. I think it's possible, fair to say, on this particular one, that method of coding. That's where you could say that's took what, a microsecond. Are we happy with a microsecond? Could say that's took a microsecond to get all them going. So that's interesting. So that's given me a little bit of a thing. We might end up with a test 5 now, and a test 5 can be 1,000 or 10,000 of each one going back to back with a clock at the either side to see how long it does to make a lot of pulses together. Let's do one of those two. Well, wow, that 5th test was really worth doing. The results have surprised me, completely surprised me. So let's dig in and have a quick look. So look, guys, I've altered the code. Top bit's the same again. All I've done is I've put a 4 next around the actual, in this case, bit bashing the port on off, on off, on off, on off. That's all we're doing. And then on test 2, we're doing the same again, 10,000 times on off using a 4 next loop digitalWrite. Next one, on off digitalWriteFast, 10,000 times. Just the loop around here. And again, no, we put the clock pulse high if you like, and then put it low here so we can time it on the oscilloscope. And then again in the bad coding style, bad coding style. Let's have a quick look at this in a minute. 10,000 times, high, low, and then drop the clock pulse once we've done it for 10,000 times. Okay, let's run that on the oscilloscope. So guys, what we've got here is it's a little bit more difficult to see. Under the blue triangle there, we've got the jagged 10 lines, if you like. There are 10 pulses, and then we've got test 1, then we've got test 2, test 3, test 4, and then the long pulse, also the long delay, if you like, until we start the next test. So definitely in the right place. Just zoom in there and measure that. There's our 10 pulses there, and if we bring this across so we can get that in the middle and get it as wide as we can so we get the most accurate result, which is going to be about there. Get the cursors on. Line that up there. Oops, a daisy. So we've got that there. So hopefully you guys can see that. We've got, so we can just make sure the camera's zoomed in on that particular spot there. 28.9 milliseconds. Just jot that one down. Number 1. Zoom back out. Let's line up on test number 2. About there. Cursors across. Test 2 is 50.7 milliseconds. So that's almost double. Not far off. Let's line up on test number 3. There, obviously, you can see the LEDs going on and off as quick as they can here. Line that one up on there, and we are. Let's go for 50.6, 50.7 again. Yeah, we'll go 50.7. So that's not changed. So that is the digitalWrite and digitalWriteFast. No different. So they've obviously depreciated digitalWriteFast, or not depreciated it. You can still use it, it'll still compile, but it's exactly the same compile as when you do a digital write. So that's good. But look at the there's something about this next one here that I want to see, because without the for next loop, you can clearly see already without zooming in, it's quicker. Without the for next loop is significantly slowing this down. So let's zoom in there. We'll call it there, I think. I'll line that up on that spot there. And then we'll bring this one across. So that is 18.8 seconds. So in actual fact, now that's amazed me. 18.8 milliseconds. So the quickest way by far is I had to do that, guys. I cannot believe that. I mean, thinking about it now logically, with all the mathematics going on with here and for and if statements, I guess. Now I look at it, it makes obvious sense. But I hate seeing this in a program, and I never ever do it. And more fool me, eh? Because that is the fastest way to switch on and off these pins. So I've learned something there, guys. Well, guys, I hope you found that useful. Please remember to like and subscribe. That was incredible for me. Honestly, that's blown my mind, because it's just it's logical now I think about it, but I've never thought about it in that way, and I shall change my way of programming. So that's great. Thanks for watching, guys. Thanks for making it to the end. Just in case you want to see what's on the t-shirt, my beloved Land Rover t-shirt. So you guys take care.